Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining my channel, please subscribe by clicking the bottom right corner of the screen and also select the little bell so that you get notification every Saturday when I publish a new video. If you are new to yoga, that's the video for you. Then I'm going to break down 8 basic yoga poses so that you feel comfortable. If you decide to start a yoga practice, you already have the basic positions. Not only you have the basics, you know what to expect and you know how to modify it to make your practice more enjoyable and also safer. Also a great practice for those of you who've tried yoga before and it was confusing, it was going too fast, you didn't know what to do. I'll slow down, I'll break down everything for you guys. At the end of this practice, you'll know how to get into 8 basic yoga postures, how to modify them, and you'll feel ready to start your yoga journey. For those of you who've been with me for a while, or if you've taken yoga before, please pass this video around, post it on your social media for anybody who wants to have a safe and easy start at yoga. If you have a yoga block, grab it. Same thing if you have a yoga mat, use it. If you don't have anything, just bring yourself and you'll do great. One thing to know about yoga, you should never feel pressure to do something that you're not comfortable doing, either because you feel you're gonna break something or hurt yourself, or it's just too uncomfortable. You can always modify the position. You can always do another option or get into a resting pose. And today that's what you're gonna learn. At the beginning of the class, you may start sitting up. This can be a very uncomfortable position. I remember when I first started, I had a lot of back issues. This was not comfortable at all. Different options here. For me, and still to this day, I like being onto my knees, but I know it's not comfortable to everyone. It can be uncomfortable onto your ankle. Another great option is to use a block. If you don't have a block, grab some towels and just folding your towels in 4, sit on your block. Because when it elevates your hips, your knees can drop a bit lower. It makes it much easier on your low back and into your hips. So whenever you start a yoga class or at the end of the class, when we get with our legs crossed, don't hesitate to modify it. So the first position is the child pose. The child pose is a resting pose that you can get into every time the practice becomes too intense. You need your own break. You don't need to wait for the instructor to show you or to tell you to take a rest. Just get into your child pose. So child pose, we're going to place our big toes together, open our knees wide, and from here we press the hips down and bring the forehead down. Now that's the extended child pose. Notice the ankles. If it's uncomfortable to have your ankles in this position and you need to keep your toes tucked under, go ahead, tuck your toes under. And you don't have to go all the way down with your hips. You can hold it right here, placing your forearms onto the mat, relaxing here. Or if you want to rest your forehead, which is even better, placing one fist on top of each other. That's your resting pose. It should feel comfortable, should feel like you can get a rest for several breaths. So if you feel that you're straining here, you're not comfortable, get into another resting pose of your choice. You can simply get onto your back and tuck your knees to your chest. So from your resting pose or modified resting pose, child pose, let's come up on all 4s, on our hands and knees. And one thing that's very important in yoga is to spread your fingers wide apart. Sometimes students tend to be in this position that's not a very safe position for your wrist, and then you put all the weight of your body onto your fingers. Instead, you want to place your hands flat, spreading your weight apart and putting as much weight into the index and thumb, so really pressing them into the floor so that you don't have too much strain onto your wrist. Moving into what is called the cat and cow. This is really to articulate your spine, loosen up your spine. So we press the lower back down, tailbone releasing up towards the sky, and pushing the floor away with the hands, pushing the chest forward, chin forward. And then we do the opposite. We tuck the tailbone under, rounding the upper back, spreading the shoulder blades apart, tucking the chin under. And again, releasing tailbone, chest, chin, tucking the tailbone under, spreading the shoulder blades, tucking the chin under. Let's add the breath to it. Inhaling, smiling with the spine. Exhaling into a cat stretch. Inhaling, opening into a cat. Exhaling, cat. Let's get into a neutral position. Now, if you feel that you have too much strain onto your wrist, you can always place your forearms and do the same thing. There's always one way to modify, or more than one way actually. You can also get into your fist and do your cat and cow. Let's move on to the down facing dog. Down facing dog could be a resting pose. It's however very challenging at first. And knowing that if your practice asks you to stay a long time into your down facing dog, feel free to get back into your child pose. Start by tucking the toes under. We're going to lift the knees off the floor. From here, we bring the chest back as far back as we can. We keep the heels of the hands into the floor. And we start bring the tailbone up towards the sky. So that's what I would call the easy down facing dog, in the sense that we keep the knees bent and heels off the floor. Maybe we hold it here. The key is to lengthen the spine. And notice my shoulders are no longer over my wrists. I bring my chest back towards my thighs. If and only if I'm able to maintain the length in my spine, I can start extending the knees. A lot of time, and you can watch here, I see this, when people want to extend the knees, they bring the shoulders forward. So it's way better to bend the knees and keep the shoulders back. Now, if you're able to maintain the length in the spine, extend the knees, press the heels down, even open your feet wide is going to help. That's your down facing dog. Let's take a break, bring the knees down into a child pose. So remember, you can have your toes tucked under, placing your forearms onto the mat, forehead on your fist, or you can release your toes. Bring your hips down, extend your arms. And up. Tucking the toes under, let's go into our down facing dog, pushing the chest back. Holding it right here. Option to extend the knees or pressing the heels down. Getting into a forward fold. So walking the hands back, bend your knees right now. We want the hands supported on the floor. This way you use your block if you have your block. And you want to be able to have your hands supported by the floor, by the block, by your shins, by your thighs. Anywhere you want. Notice I'm keeping my knees bent and soft. Now for those of you who can maintain the length in the knees, you can start by extending the knees. Otherwise, feel free to keep the knees bent. That's your forward fold. From here, when we move out of the forward fold, we want to move up very slowly, especially if we stand up.
If you go too fast, you're going to be dizzy and you may faint. So what I like to do is place the hands on the thigh, coming halfway up until the shoulders are level with the hips. I tuck my chin under. I can hold it here for a breath or two until my blood is going back into my body. That prevents from being lightheaded. And from here, placing the feet and knees together. Bring the shoulders halfway up. This is my modified chair. So modified chair, we want to maintain again the length in the spine. Sometimes I see this, or this, we lift the heels. So when we lift the heels, we strain the knees. What I always tell my students is to lift all the toes off the floor. It makes you really put some weight into your heels. Hands on the thighs to support your spine. And think about pressing your tailbone down instead of forward, down. Belly lifted to support the spine. Hands can remain onto your thighs. If you want to challenge yourself, hands to heart center or arms extended. This is your chair. From here, extending the knees. And hands can be to heart center or down. This is our mountain pose. Let's sweep the arms up. Inhaling, exhaling into a chair. Hands onto the thighs, going a little bit lower. And back into our forward fold. Softening the knees, hands can be on your block. And from here, walking the hands forward, getting back into our down facing dog. And getting to a runner's lunge. So from here, you can just place one foot forward, use your hand to place your foot between your hands. And back knee on the floor. That's a modified runner's lunge. Very important, this heel has to be between your hands, flat on the floor. When your foot is right here, you lift your heel and again you strain your knee. So if this happens, use a hand, grab your ankle, place your foot between your hands. If your hands are not touching the floor, you can have a block under each hand. Remember your hands on the floor, fingers spread out. Now the full version, you would extend your back knee, and that's not a requirement. You can always place your back knee down. Let's place both feet together. Let's get back into a down facing dog. So knees, toes tucked under, knees off the floor, chest back. And reaching up with the tailbone. Let's work on the other leg. So extending your left leg. And maybe your foot reaches halfway, using your hand. Grabbing the foot, placing it between your hands. And let's modify it by placing the right knee onto the floor. That's your runner's lunge. And option to extend the back knee. From here, we're going to get into a warrior one. Placing the back foot flat on the floor, hands onto your thighs. And let's place the hands right here on the hips. So warrior one, your entire body faces the small end of your mat. So your front foot, front knee, hips, shoulders face straight front, and your back foot faces diagonal. How far you go sideways depends really on the range of motion in the hips. Whatever feels fine for your back foot. So you don't want it all the way open because it opens up your hips. You want it really pointing maybe towards the front corner of your mat. With the top hand, let's pull the hip back. With the back hand or the right hand, push the hip forward. So your hips are reaching forward as your back foot is moving out a little bit. That's how we stretch the hip here. That's a hip opener. Front knee bent, back knee extended. Let's extend the front knee, less bent. And again. Hold it there. Now if your feet are too close, it's not much of a challenge. If it's way too far, you may lose your balance. Find the distance that works for you. Let's have the feet together into a chair. Again, here hands on the thighs, heart center extended. And let's step back with the left foot, placing our hands onto our hips. So the entire body faces front, from the front toes, front knee, hips, shoulders, really feeling lifted. Back toes pointing to the corner, hands on the hips. Right hip is pushing back, pulling back, left hip forward. And feeling your tailbone reaching forward. You don't want to arch back. That's how you're going to hurt your back. So tailbone reaching forward by bending the front knee. Inhaling, extended. Exhaling, bend. Inhaling. Exhaling, hold it right here. And you may feel it right here. No pain in the back ankle. If your back ankle is bothering you, switch the angle. Either open up your foot a little bit more or close it. That's our warrior one. Place our feet together into a chair. Hands onto the thighs. Fold, fold. Let's walk the feet back into a down facing dog. And knees down. Into a child pose. Let's review quickly. So modified child pose. Here. And up on all fours. Inhaling cow, smiling the spine. Exhaling cat. You can always have your toes tucked under. Inhaling cow. Exhaling cat. Let's do it one more. Inhaling cat. Exhaling cat. Inhaling center. Moving into a down facing dog. From here, lifting the knees. Fingers are spread out wide. Index and thumbs pressing down. Big breath in. Exhaling chest to thighs. Holding it here, 2 breaths. Walking the feet forward into a forward fold. Finding a spot for your hands to rest. Hands on the thighs. Let's keep the knees bent, or let's bend the knees if they are extended. Inhaling, shoulders level the hips, chin tucked under. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, mountain pose. Inhaling, exhaling, chair. Hands can be on the thighs or on the heart. Let's step the left foot back into our warrior one. Placing our hands on our hips. So right hand pulls back, left hand forward. Checking that the toes, front knee, hips, shoulders stay straight front. Tailbone is not arching back. Pushing forward. Back knee straight, front knee bent. That's our warrior one. Hands to heart or reaching up. And from here, going to our runner's lunge. So what we do, we reach forward for the floor. We slide our back, foot back. You can press the back knee into the floor. And we want to adjust this foot, making sure it's between our hands. And feet together. Let's work on the other side. Inhaling. Exhaling, down facing dog. Drawing the left leg out. Stepping forward. From here, grabbing this foot, placing it between the hands. And back foot flat on the floor, hands onto our thighs. Coming up into warrior one. Hands on the hips. So checking first the alignment. Toes, front knee, hips, shoulders facing front. Back foot pointing to a corner. Back knee straight. Front knee bent. And pressing the tailbone forward. Hands to a heart or arms extended, feeling lifted in the spine. And from here, going to our runner's lunge, leaning forward, reaching for the floor. So this back knee can go onto the floor, you can hold it right here, or you can extend your back knee. That's the other cat, Amy. Amy? Yeah. Hi. Hi. So that's Amy. She's usually not on the video. So let's continue placing our right knee onto the floor. Both knees together. We're gonna end into a child pose, knees wide open. Top of the feet flat or toes tucked under, hips down, fists under the forehead. And that's it for today. At the end of each practice, we place our hands to heart center. I bow to you, I say namaste, and you repeat. Congratulations to starting your yoga journey with me. Namaste.